Okay, guys, I hope you're ready for an emotionally draining trial. We are going to lose, and we're going to lose hard. Because you have to fail. You have to fail so you can know how bad it feels, so that way you won't want to fail again. You have to be sick of losing, you have to want to win. The girl. Let her go. Shut up. Come closer, and I kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Hey, wait a minute. Terry Falls. Terry Falls, kidnap, sends death penalty. I really hope this guy didn't get executed, because I get the feeling that he's innocent. And, like, Hawthorne. Oh my god! Dahlia Hawthorne. Let me guess, they're sisters. Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before me and I ever met. I really hope that guy's still alive so we can clear his name. There might still be hope, because, like, it can take years for someone on death row to actually get the death penalty, which just gives us another reason why the death penalty is stupid. If I don't know anything about the legal system, but if I were to guess why, I'd assume it's because there are so many people on death row. I mean, like, not as much as there are people just in prison, regular prison, but, like, execution is expensive. Pragmatically, as well as morally, it's just not a viable option. I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to die. I never should have accepted this case. Good morning. Don't be so jumpy, Mia. I didn't do nothing, I swear. I didn't kill nobody. Terry Falls, my first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now a prison escapee. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. You're gonna lose, Mia. I have... So why did you escape anyway? I'm sorry. I didn't do nothing. Okay. I never lie. I didn't escape from... Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. Sorry. Okay, maybe this guy is... I don't fucking know. Some people, like... Werner Herzog made a documentary about 2 murderers who... One of them was... You're on death row, right? I'm really sorry. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it. I didn't kill her. I could never do that. 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Wagon? Then about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. Falls? Fallet? Terry Fallet. Terry Falls. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman? Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped. So that much is true. He did meet with the victim. But I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true. I can trust him, right? I mean, I should. Ha. Oh my god. You're not going to figure out the truth by just staring at the guy. You're... Why are you here? Oh... I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big scary lion's den. Weird. Hello there, kitten. I noticed you haven't been on Discord recently. Which, out of all the Ace Attorney characters, who would be the most likely to, like, groom a Discord kitten? Hey, kitten, get on Bed Wars. You're making Daddy angry. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say... Winston Payne. Where's Mr. Grossberg? Huh, that old man is probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando. I didn't say... So, Diego Armando, the finance attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me, your boyfriend. No, you got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine, an escaped death row convict for a first client. He's definitely guilty. Yeah, thanks. Like I was saying, there was this documentary about two murders, whereas they both maintained their innocence even after imprisonment, like, and it was very clear that they did do the murder. One of them was sentenced to life, the other was sentenced to death, and the second guy, he was like 18 or somewhere around that age range, sentenced to death by lethal injection. And even when he was dying, he still claimed he was innocent. And the daughter of one of the victims went to see the execution. She didn't want that guy to be killed. She would have been fine with him being given life in prison, but she still wanted to see it because she wanted to look in his face and make sure, yeah, he's a killer. He is unrepentant. She wanted to see it for herself. And, that's Werner Herzog for you. Relax, I just heard some good news. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. I never watched documentaries. I am already sad enough. I get to witness reality, the cruelties of reality, firsthand. Witness the brutal cruelties of reality. Don't look, Charlie. I mean, is this really... I've seen worse stuff online. And that was me, you know. I was a kid. I accidentally watched Cupcakes Animation. Accidentally watched Shed.Mauve. Accidentally watched Meet the Pyro. And now, when I got older, I saw Rick and Morty. And, like, saw the fucking leprechaun get disemboweled. I was like, whatever. Genius. Well, it's about time to head in. Oh my god. Sharpen those claws of yours. It's go to... Who wrote this? A solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. Especially if... And that's what my client ran away from. The death penalty. Every other lawyer gave up on him. But not me. You're gonna lose. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. If there was a... What argument would a public defender make fit? And, like, in real life, they would probably appeal to the court, try and get him a reduced sentence, right? Like, my client is very clearly, he's not a harm to anyone. Why kill him? It's a waste of money. If you kill a killer, the number of killers in the world stays the same. Oh, hey, it's the judge. Let's hope he's a more competent judge than his brother. Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Falls. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh my god! The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. I understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers? Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. So you're the new prosecutor everyone is talking about, eh? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. At 20, Your Honor. I guess our little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh? Come on, Mia. You can't lose, not to someone younger than you. Why couldn't the prosecution have been Lana? Young people run a trial. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. If he's on death row, why don't they just execute them? Everyone has a right to a trial, that's why. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct? Precisely. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day that the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. Sounds to me like he's fucked either way. So we're here to determine if Mr. Falls was responsible for her death. You got it, kitten. Even if you do that, he's still gonna just be thrown back in jail. The electric chair. Well, and the worst part is they got rid of last meal, so like they're just lambs to the slaughter is what this is. It's a slaughterhouse. You have dehumanized the human. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement. Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. Wait, what? But I remember. Oh, he's talking about the previous crime. Oh my god. A truly horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. Correct. But in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's test. Oh wait, I'm giving him the wrong voice. Fucking Edgeworth sounds like Matt Mercer. Godot sounds like Solid Snake. A certain witness's testimony. A witness's testimony? It was her. The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Falls throw this young victim into the river. I believe it. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. So Miss Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away. The policewoman you just mentioned. That wouldn't be... Exactly. The victim. The same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Aha, I see. The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago, with only one thing on his mind, to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now! Huh? Yes. It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty. Yeah. Wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. Watch yourself, Miss Fay. I'm not sure I care for your word of choice or your tone of voice. Hey, the defense still needs to give their, statement. Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. I call the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case. Oh my god! Witness, state your name and occupation. Gumshoe, Dick Gumshoe. I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir. I finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Oh ho ho ho! Don't care, didn't ask. Hey, ma'am, you got an idea how much work it takes? Don't care, didn't ask, plus salary cutting noises. Oh, what is it? You're really gorgeous. Excuse me? No, seriously. My heart, it's aching for you. Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. Okay, I got it. Now, detective, tell us about the incident. You know, I'm just gonna give Judge the normal voice, because fuck it, he's younger. Yes, sir, right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yeah, I'll go. That's good. Yes, sir, I gotcha. Okay, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under there is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there, on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. Listen, I'd rather let a murderer walk free than kill a man who might be innocent. This is... like, in the next game, another thing that should be in the next game, have there be trials by jury. Like, it wouldn't change much, would it? It would still be, like... All that would change is that instead of the judge saying, I find the defendant guilty or not guilty, it would just end with the judge saying, I think it is now time for the jury to decide their verdict, and then the jury would say, we find the defendant, blah, 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 blah. Like, come on, make the gallery more useful. Give us a fucking... Have this be fair. Like, there's trial by juries in Japan. You could do it. If you really want to convince us that the new games are after the dark age of the law, have things be more fair, more ethical. There's a jury in The Great Ace Attorney. Can't wait to play those games. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? Victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there. Your Honor. Let me guess, forged evidence? If you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. Why, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me as though I were some hoser. Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now. Listen carefully, kitten. Stop calling me that. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge. Naturally. Now, would the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination? Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination. Coming right up. Hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee. What are you, heterosexual? Let's spill the tea, sis. Actually, no. For straight people, let's spill the beans. And gay people say spill the tea. So bisexual people say spill the coffee. I'm not trembling. It's just cold in here. The courtroom can be a cold battlefield, all right? Especially for a beginner. I don't need you to worry about me. I mean the defendant, the witness. Everyone's a beginner in here. Ha. You got me there. Really? Surely didn't the defendant have another try? Whatever. But maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you've got, kitten. Okay. Okay, Mia, stay calm. Permission to treat this witness as hostile, Your Honor. Permission granted. I'm gonna shoot you in the face. Yeah, that would ruin my day, pal. Wait, did she see a WikiHow video on a Alright, pull up the WikiHow article. An unknown person phoned the sergeant. This unknown person. You have no idea who it might be, right? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. What? The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Falls. What? The defendant? The defendant called her? Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about a phone call with Mr. Falls. A note? Yeah, a top-secret memo that she left in a desk. According to this note, it seems the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Falls. Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me, Edgeworth? Looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. What? It's that detective's fault. He's the one that said unknown person. Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me so. Knew it. Was that a trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. Alright. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. A bridge up in the mountains? But why meet there? Because it is a very important place for the defendant, that's why. What do you mean by that? I can't do that voice for the judge. If you remember, 5 years ago, the defendant kidnapped a young girl. He was chased onto a bridge, and it was there that he killed his hostage. And the place where all of this occurred is, of course, Dusky Bridge. The very place where Sergeant Hawthorne arrested and handcuffed Mr. Falls. Ha! Returning to the scene of the crime. How nostalgic. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. Was the body of the victim discovered right away? Yeah, we were really on the ball. We found the criminal within 1 hour of the murder. It was great. We even got to say, "Don't move, we've got you surrounded." Wait a second. Isn't there something weird about that? The location was a suspension bridge up in the mountains. So how did they find out about the crime so quickly? Sergeant Hawthorne must have mentioned the phone call to someone else, right? Huh. If that's what had happened, then she wouldn't have been killed. She never mentioned the phone call from Mr. Falls, but she left a note on the desk about it. If only I had noticed it earlier, maybe she'd still be alive. I wonder why she didn't mention the phone call to anyone. The criminal stuffed a body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls had a car then? Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, man. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else, right? What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? I don't know what I'm gonna do with this fucker. Hope I don't have to see him again. I know I just said I prefer him to the other judge, but okay. You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. Wait, I know. Give him the voice of the judge from fucking bullshit evolved. God damn it, sir! Shut your cake hole! He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting a red light. Car thieves. I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves. Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? I don't like cars. So, yeah. This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. Oh my god. Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there. Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable. Well, the victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct? Yeah. Ha. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. We're talking about a woman here. You can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in her back, nice and firm. The condition of the body was discovered, and it's very important the condition of the body when it was discovered is very important information. Don't like this voice, but I'm stuck with it. You will suck it down, and you will like it. Detective, was there anything strange or noteworthy in the trunk of the car? Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see any strange, do you? Anyway, Mr. Falls... Wait. What did the defendant have to say about this photo? What he always says, ma'am. I didn't do it. I didn't do none. That's all he says. Your Honor, I'd like to make a plea bargain. My client is clearly insane. I wouldn't say he did nothing. At the very least, we know he stole a car. It's just what he always says, Your Honor. And then he always says, sorry, I told a little lie. Oh, man. Okay, fine. He has the same voice as the judge. Or something like that. Well, in any case, it seems he was caught and arrested. Precisely. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint when we set up at the base of the mountain. That certainly is some impressive police work. Well, no, actually, it was way too close for comfort. We set up that checkpoint just after 5 p.m. We figured that Mr. Falls might just try to run. What do you mean it was too close for comfort? The two of them arranged to meet at 4:30 p.m. And it takes approximately 30 minutes to go from the bridge to the checkpoint. That was kind of close. And later, Mr. Falls could have slipped right by. Listen up, kitten. There's a big trap waiting for you in that testimony. A trap? Walk into it carelessly, and it'll leave more than just a flesh wound. Fun, huh? No, it's not! Well, if you want to have any chance at all, you'd better get some more information. And if you're going to get caught in a trap, it's best to get caught early. You can always look for contradictions afterwards. The ever-famous contradictions. I sure hope I can find some of those. On the day of the incident, an unknown person. Let's see. Try to make a getaway. Do you? Let's look at that photo in more detail. Huh. Let's just object, and just to see what happens. Of course, I'll have to present... Oh, damn it. You fucked up. The criminal stuffed her body into this car trunk. That's where she was murdered. Designated time. Let's look at the record. Between 4 and 5 p.m. 40 feet. That bridge. White scarf. Oh! She's not wearing a white scarf. Yeah, we got him. Witness! Oh, what is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Frey? I'm sorry. I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Womp womp. This is the first time I've ever actually had to address someone like that. You should have practiced for coming to court. Honestly, Miss Frey, I'm not sure I like this. Say there, little kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy? Candy? Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee. Come on, Mia, shake it off. You're a lawyer. What about soda? That's the lawyer I'd like to see. He drinks soda in the middle of court. Soda! Detective. Yes, ma'am. This photo, you said there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I said. Well then, I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim. The note? It very clearly says, wear a white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like. Thus, this special request. I have one very simple question for you, detective. Where is the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo. Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am. And you stopped there? You should have looked for it. Ugh. The caller told her to wear it to identify herself, so I'd expect she did just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this? Oh, that's a bit better voice. It's like, You know, it's like the regular judge's voice, but less gruff. I see the defense is a little lacking. Your Jordans are fake as fuck. The scarf you are searching so desperately for. Is it this one, perhaps? That's not a white scarf! That is a baby blue! Where'd you find that, sir? On Dusky Bridge. I was there first, and decided to conduct my own investigation. Why didn't you tell me? Yeah, why didn't you tell anyone? I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. What the fuck? Why didn't you share this information with anyone? You didn't tell anyone until the day of the trial? Why did you do that? Well, because if I did, I was certain that someone would have blackmailed me. There's mafia everywhere. Yeah, that's actually a fair point. It's the safest place I know. It's not a man purse, it's a satchel. You can't stay with us, so you're telling me there's a chance. I knew it was you, Phil. You broke my heart. As if. This is the start of a beautiful friendship. I don't even know half of those lines, bro. That hotshot sure has a flair for the dramatic. It's not exactly white, as the caller requested, but as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for. It looks like it spent some time in the mud. Not surprising. It was drizzling on the mountain that day. Prosecutor Edgeworth, he was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time. The court will accept the scarf into evidence. Kangaroo court. Now, if the attorney for the defense has finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is all right with you, isn't it, Miss Fay? You are not a clown, you're the entire circus. Boy, would I like to wrap this scarf around his smarmy little neck. Very good. Now, if we're done with this mud-covered scarf business, the prosecution moves to establish conclusively, and with hard evidence, that Miss Hawthorne and Miss Falls did indeed meet on the bridge that day. Aren't you trying to prove that he killed? It's like, what about the murder weapon? Why hasn't you shown the murder weapon? Show the murder weapon. If you're so sure, show the murder weapon with the prints. Come on, man. Everything is moving at his whim. Don't forget, kid. There's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. A genius, huh? If this guy really is guilty, Edgeworth wouldn't have to be using dirty tactics like this. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Also, how does Edgeworth benefit from hiding this information? Like, this is pretty conclusive evidence, right? Like, imagine if it was all like, oh, I just forgot, defense. I forgot to mention, I have the murder weapon right here with the defendant's prints. Like, why didn't you tell anyone about that? That's incriminated evidence. It proves that. Why? It's like you made it harder for myself. Oh, well, I wanted to see you object. I wanted to see you say, objection, we don't see, the murder weapon wasn't seen at the scene of the crime, so that way I could make you look like an idiot. What? It's solely for, it is solely so he can, oh my god. The only difference that shows, like, Edgeworth could have presented this stuff before the trial or after the trial. Nothing would have changed with the verdict. The only difference is that Edgeworth had fully humiliated his opponent. My god. These bitches gay. Anyway, the victim shoved the victim down. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. It's been 30 minutes. We're going strong, boys. Girls and non-binary worlds. Looking at this photo. You really get the sense that this bridge is very high up. It is about a 40 drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below. Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway? Let's just say that it was a well-intentioned third party. Aha! A potential witness. So why isn't this person in the courtroom? Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify. The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we see no reason to compel them to testify. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Seems to have been taken. So, as you can see, Terry Falls had both the motive and the opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty. Yep. Not again, that's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. What do you mean, Fuck you mean, nuh-uh? Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. Who is this eyewitness? She's a college student. Ah, a female college student. That's right, meaning she's female and a college student, man. Do you mean they're both girls, but they're also cousins? She doesn't do well in front of other people, so I came to testify for her. It's Dahlia Hawthorne, isn't it? Maybe so, but as the attorney for the defense, I have the right to cross-examine her. For the time being, we're not relying on the witness's statements. That is all. What is that supposed to mean? The prosecution has other, more decisive evidence. Our case doesn't rest on the vague testimony of a female college student. Then just show that evidence. Like, why are you drawing this out? Like Von Karma, he does, like, really quick trials, right? He did really quick trials. He was speedrunning the trials. Although, you know what? As much as I hate Edgeworth's methods, I still have to admit, like, aside from surprise evidence, he still does things by the book, you know? No forged evidence. All the evidence he's presented seems to be legitimate. He brings the relevant witnesses. It properly explains why each piece of evidence is relevant. You know, he may prosecute, whether he's prosecuting someone who's innocent or guilty, he does it by the rules. It means she's female and a college student, sir. If you absolutely must hear her testimony, you'll have to give us a good reason why. Please tell us about the more decisive evidence in question. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, oh wait, I shouldn't. I forgot, I had to be pressing him. The victim was wearing a scarf in that photo, alright. So, about the witness who took this photo. What was this person doing all the way in the mountains? She was taking photos of wild flowers, apparently. There are many unusual types of flora on that mountain, Miss Faye. People in the area say it's because of the spirits that live there. The spirits? Now that you mention it, this photo... This cloudy fog-like thing, is it a ghost? I don't believe it. That's a cloud. No, Your Honor, no. I don't think it's a ghost. Those are clouds. It was drizzling that day, unfortunately. It's a little hard to see what's going on. I hate rain. Inside, rain is fine. Outside, ugh. And it smells terrible. Smells like boredom and old people. That's right. No, it smells like boredom and old age. Old people have a different smell. It's old age. It smells like the concept of old age. That's right. There was a lot of rain coming down. The whole place was dreary. But not as dreary as the mood that's in this courtroom right now. Haha! A woman was killed. Gumshoe. Looks like a cold front just moved in. In any case... Well, almost like it was stolen from him. Okay, a man was sexually assaulted. I really hope that they release like a remake of the 2 Miles Edgeworth games. The point is that the area was quite damp. There was even some fog. I even slipped and fell while I was on the bridge. It was really something. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Is that part of the witness's testimony as well? Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back and she fell down right on her stomach. I remember that happening once myself. It was really brutal. Are you talking about seeing someone get pushed, or were you the one getting pushed? One time I was at Costco with my mom and the wind was so strong that it pushed her to the ground. She was fine. Or doesn't mean that you push someone down like that once. With his mind-boggling tales and the way he said brutal. I wonder if he's Canadian. Wait, am I supposed to be giving him a Canadian accent? Brutal. Yeah, what about you, man? Aye. Okay, this is the voice for him. We are Canadians. Yeah, I apologize to any people from Canada watching this. I know you don't all talk like that. Save your nasty look for the right person. Huh? You know what? Every Canadian that I've seen or heard, they all just kind of sound like this. They don't sound like they have an accent. Poor baby. The court record seems to have wet itself. What are you talking about, dude? I don't see anything. Well, look, he's holding. I don't see him holding a knife. I see him holding a ball and chain, and it's very heavy. Shoot. Hey, watch where you spill your coffee. A court record, huh? That must have been when the scarf fell off. So, in other words, there was a struggle between the criminal and the victim, huh? That's what the witness said. Well, it looks like she didn't remember about the scarf. But from what she said, it sounded like a pretty violent fight, ma'am. The area was wet from rain. The bridge was probably wet too. Which would explain why the scarf is all covered in mud, but... there's something about this testimony that's still bothering me. Talk about a surprise. I had no idea there was a photo. So what do I do? You really still believe him? Mr. Crybaby, I mean? Of course I do. That's a mistake, Mia. So the little kitten believes in fairy tales, huh? In that case, the answer is obvious. If what you believe is the truth, then that means that somewhere hidden in that testimony is a contradiction. One huge contradiction waiting to be discovered. That's your chance. Eyewitness. This photo shows them wearing the scarf. Let's compare this. There's a picture of her. Okay, now let's see a picture in the dead. I don't see anything. Where's her hat? Eagle River. The bridge is broken. Drizzling, hard to see what's going on. Stabbed her in the back. No. So... shoved the victim down, stabbed her in the back. Is that part of the testimony? Is that really the question you should be asking, Mia? Take a look. Poor baby, the court record seems to have wet itself. So I do have to present the court record, but which evidence? Like, can't we just say, Your Honor, something in the court record contradicts this witness's testimony. What piece of evidence? Sorry, motherfucker, you'll have to guess. So at the time of the crime, there was a light drizzle coming down, correct? Yeah, and, fog, too. Just a generally soggy atmosphere. Oh, confident hair flip. Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with a soggy atmosphere. But this is a photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk. That's my Grossberg voice, not the judge voice. Considering the conditions at the scene of the crime, something isn't right. Well, by all means, and please enlighten us as to what isn't right. Please enlighten us as to what isn't right. What is it about this photo that doesn't Baba Booey? Oh, I see. The scarf was covered in mud, but why isn't her coat covered in mud? Naturally, the answer is right here. The victim's coat? As far as I can see, there is nothing strange about it. There was nothing strange about it. That's exactly what's strange. Recall the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? Well, there was this Swedish guy, and he said the N-word. It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky bridge was all wet. If the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of the bridge, then the front of her coat should have been covered in mud. Ugh. That's exactly right. The other day, I fell on a muddy street and my gorgeous playoff beard was befouled. That is not Canadian. I do admit that the crime scene was wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If Your Honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street, your glorious hockey beard, pride of the legal league of legends, would be wet, but not muddy. Fortunately, I've yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken. Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day? The surface of the bridge, huh? A real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this. Neither would a real woman. Hair flip. Of course I can. Here's the evidence that proves the surface of the bridge was muddy. Yeah, the scarf. The evidence is this scarf. Ah! It should be obvious. If the scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy, that means the bridge was obviously covered in mud. You got mud on your face, you big disc. I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo. Hey, same to you, buddy. Ooh. Just called me a bimbo. I mean, he is also a novice. And, yeah, I would call... Edgeworth is too smart to be a himbo. He's clearly a twink, which is like the opposite of a himbo. Because what are the defining feature traits of a himbo, right? He's big, beefy, and he's a nice guy, dumb as rocks. So well, the opposite would be someone who's scrawny, a skinny guy, who's very intelligent and vain and cruel. You know what I'm describing? That's right, a Tumblr sexy man. Wait, what? A twink. The Onceler. He is the anti-himbo. The problem... Women want him. Men want him. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? Huh? For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at what the explanation in this case may be, shall we? Alright, Stocky's really giving me a choice here. Obviously, the contradiction is that the witness was lying. Huh. You're doing pretty well for a little kitten. Armando! No matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim discovered in the trunk, the witness's photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness's testimony that stated she saw the moment of the murder. Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? The false evidence. It's one of those three. Huh. What you just said just now, I'm not sure I like that. That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over here that said it. This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into court. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is. Oh my god, this is like when in Better Call Saul, when Chuck McGill, he had the chance to, stop Jimmy, prevent him from becoming a lawyer for the sake of the legal system, because he knew just how much harm Jimmy would cause. But instead of Jimmy, it's Miles Edgeworth, and instead of a defense lawyer, it's a prosecution. You think a man just happens to fall like that? No, he orchestrated it. He defecated through a sunroof, and he gets to be a lawyer? Yes. The false evidence in this case is the I think it's gotta be the testimony. It is a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen? Yeah. That's what the witness told us. Hair flip. That testimony is filled with holes, much like SpongeBob SquarePants. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all. That's true. It's not just true, it's the truth. What? If there was a truly decisive witness in this case, well, it may be stupid, but it's also dumb. I'm certain that boy wonder over there would have called him in the first place. Your Honor, the defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, it appears that we'll need to hear from your mystery witness after all. Oops, sorry guys, I accidentally sounded like my brother for a minute.
You should brace yourself for the brutal truth. What? Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court and make him sound like Winston Overwatch, but he already did that for Damon Gant. And I highly doubt that I don't think this game has an extra episode, you guys, which sucks because I really wanted to see Emma Skye again. But that's okay. She'll come back in the Apollo Justice trilogy. God, I'm so hyped for that.
Very well. Please bring forth your witness at this time.
What Mr. Edgeworth said kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth?
Now, let's proceed with the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes. This is it, Mia. The battle begins here. Witness, what is your name and occupation? It's her! It's her! Mia's ex-girlfriend, I think. That's why they know each other, right? Everyone is so silent that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter.
Oh. When I look at you, how can I put it? You look as scrumptious as a double-double and a dozen donut holes.
What?
I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict, just have a...
What? Not so fast. As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. I would ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her. I'm not affected by her womanly wiles, though, because I am gay. Edgeworth, everybody knows that you're gay.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You are a true gentleman. Miss Bay, you could learn a lot from this man.
If he's such a gentleman, he sure doesn't act like one to me. Sir?
Yes, my dear.
This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause.
Not at all. It's no trouble at all.
Now then, may you please have your name and occupation?
My name is, Melissa Foster.
No, it isn't!
I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department.
A freshman? You were on the scene when the unfortunate event occurred, correct? And you were the one who took this photo. Is that accurate?
How can you be so mean?
Now see here, what are you doing shoving that in her face like that?
Huh? But it's just a photograph. It's not like it's something dangerous. Look at this photograph.
Next time, I'll be forced to penalize you.
Uh-oh. I don't like the turn this is taking. Is this gonna be another thing where I get penalized if I press her on something irrelevant? I'm gonna shit my pants and come. Is she staring at me?
And you would be?
Huh? I'm the defense attorney. My name is Mia Fey.
I see. So you are.
Now then, young lady, could you please give us your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best.
Oh, whoa.
I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then, I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police.
By the way, where were you standing when the incident occurred?
I believe the map would be of help here.
I was standing right over here. I was standing in a beautiful field surrounded by tall cliffs.
So you took the photo from a location, eh?
I bought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to.
Manfred von Karma mentioned having a granddaughter, so that means that either Francisca or Edgeworth has a kid. I know Edgeworth, ended up being, Trucy's surrogate mother, so I don't know.
Huh, what a cute camera, just like its owner.
I don't think I used that voice for anyone, so yeah.
Alright then, Miss Faye, time for your cross-examination.
I feel like that voice would be good for Grossberg, but
I already did a voice for Grossberg. I made him sound like Santa Claus, or the tree from Lord of the Rings, Treebeard. He's a tree with a beard.
J.R. Tolkien wrote Treebeard, based him off of his friend, C.S. Lewis.
But I warn you, make the...
Oh, shit. I spent too much time talking about Treebeard, I gave him the Treebeard voice.
But I warn you, make the witness cry again, and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel.
Your Honor, Edgeworth... The prosecution is using forged evidence. I did not! Your Honor, send her to the principal's office and have her expelled! Or, I guess, disbarred!
I was using my camera to take some pictures of flowers. Then I noticed there were two people standing...
Oh, okay. I don't want to just... If Terry Falls isn't the criminal, then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony.
Be careful, kid. That girl has the judge wrapped right around her little finger. You're gonna have a tough time poking holes in that testimony of hers.
You're gonna have to come up with something real good, Mia. No hints? Fuck you. Okay. Notice there are two people stand up on the suspension bridge. They just started fighting. Do you have any idea what they were fighting about?
No, I have no idea. Why do you ask that?
Oh, I just thought that maybe you overheard what they said. Oh, shit. The white women tears.
I would never eavesdrop. I've got more class than that.
That's right, Miss Faye. Don't drag the witness down to your level.
Ah.
That's when I hurried and took the photo.
Okay. Let's see if she can... Was there anything strange about the two of them?
I'm a bad girl. I know I am.
Yep.
It looked like they were having a really serious conversation up there. So I decided to watch them, like some kind of peeping Tom.
So she does leave... Oh, not at all. Everyone is like that. This kangaroo court.
I love watching other people fight too. In fact, I can't get enough of it. That's why I'm a judge. Actually, that's why I took this job in the first place.
Knew it.
My brother, on the other hand, I have no idea why he's a judge. He's an idiot.
Too much info, Your Honor. In any case, it's perfectly natural for you to have kept watching them. Especially just as they were.
Well, anyway, I was watching them very closely. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police.
Okay, why did you take the photo?
Well, the two of them were really going at it. Ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a news reporter. I guess that part of me just kind of took over.
Smells like a lie to me.
Yes, I understand completely. Even now, I can't completely abandon my boyhood dreams. I still use my grandson to test my comedy routines on.
Poor bastard. So he wanted to be a comedian, huh? Not that it has any bearing on this.
All I could do was use my camera, so I took the photo of the crucial moment and gave it to the police.
And right after that, I called the... Wait a minute. They just started fighting. But... Hold on. The photo doesn't show them fighting. She says that she took the photo after they were fighting, but they weren't fighting in the photo. Witness, when you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? All I can see in this photo are the two people facing each other. You testified that you saw the two of them starting to fight. Normally, that's the kind of thing we would refer to as a crucial moment. Why haven't you presented a photo like that?
Well, you see...
The photo we presented was the only one there. But if you really wanted to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it. Don't!
My apologies, young lady, but Miss Faye's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit.
You can certainly downplay a situation, can't he?
I'm sorry. I'm a very bad girl. I used it all up. The film, I mean.
You ran out of film?
This photo was the last one.
What? Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all of the photographs she took that day. All the other photos are of the witness herself playing among the wildflowers. The witness herself, and who took the photos?
Well, you see, my camera has a timer feature built into it.
Okay, so you took photos of yourself? Everybody does that, it's called a selfie.
I remember taking some photos of myself once, too.
Selfies have existed for as long as cameras have existed. Please, no details.
It seems that Miss Faye's assertion was not so decisive after all.
Wait, just a minute.
No, well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more pictures, eh?
Mr. Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo. Photos of the incident that you took with your very own eyes.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet.
Very well, then. Let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed.
Yes, Mr. Judge.
Boy, this guy's really a sucker for sweet talk.
It looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention.
Yeah, it's sickening.
I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers.
Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. The victim turned around and tried to run away. She only got about 100 yards before she was stabbed in the back. So you're saying Sergeant Hawthorne wasn't able to get away from him?
Well, it's a narrow bridge and it was swaying back and forth. If you ask me, both of them were in danger of falling off. I only wish I could have done something to help her.
That seems to make sense.
I wonder about that. Something seems kind of off.
Does it now? You have a good sixth sense. When you feel that something's off, that's when you need to figure out why.
If Terry Falls is the criminal, then there must be something strange. Yeah. Notice there were two people. Yeah. Fighting. The victim turned around and tried to run away. The victim. Why do you think she tried to run away? Did she... With her police training, she certainly knew better than to turn her back on a criminal. This was a large, powerful man with a knife. If it had been a quaggy woman like you, I'm sure she would have acted differently. Quaggy?
If it had been me, I probably would have jumped into the river.
There's still something wrong with this testimony. Let's see, she only got about 10 yards. Maybe it's... turned around to run away, but the bridge was broken, wasn't it? Yeah! I'm a genius. Witness, your testimony is a joke.
What? But I just...
Miss Fay, I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry. Heh.
One short testimony and two bad contradictions. There is no possible excuse.
You say there were 2 contradictions?
It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the 2 of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run, well then...
She would have hit a dead end.
You said 10 yards, but she couldn't have ran even 5. Because Dusky Bridge is collapsed on that side.
Whoa, what does this all mean?
It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it.
This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court?
Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion.
What do you mean?
There's one major mistake in this diagram. What did you say?
What are you referring to?
It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred. God damn it! It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it.
So you're saying?
I'm saying that even though the bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove the bridge was broken during the incident. That's ridiculous! You can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. Well, I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence. Well, you old bitch, if you could just take a look at this motherfucking outdated bridge report.
Huh. That guy is good.
Huh? What do you mean?
He planned it from the beginning.
He orchestrated it!
He's a genius, all right. That diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy.
What? That coward. Yeah. Yeah, I said he was playing by the rules. I didn't say he wasn't a dick. It's like malicious compliance. That's what he's doing, you know?
Seems you've once again made a reckless accusation.
I'm so sorry. I should have been more careful myself.
Yeah, you should be sorry.
No, it wasn't your fault at all.
Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish once and for all what it was that the witness actually saw.
Indeed. All right, young lady. May I ask you to please proceed with your testimony?
But it's so hard to go on.
We're all on your side, Miss Foster.
There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw.
Yes, sir.
Wolf in sheep's clothing.
After she stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw.
But the thing is... Okay, but would the bridge have been able to support that the weight of a man, the weight of a dead woman, and the ball and chain? I don't think so. But the thing is, ball and chain isn't exactly evidence that I can show to prove a contradiction.
Witnessing such violence must have been difficult.
Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up.
If you accept this testimony as it is, we're finished.
Don't say that.
Oh well. Maybe I'll stop off at my favorite cafe on the way home. They make a really great mocha latte.
This trial isn't over yet.
Ha! That's what I like to hear. All right, Miss Fay, your cross-examination, if you please.
The contradiction is staring you right in the face, Mia. Go on the attack. I'm gonna press her, because I think I might be able... I think I might be able to find the contradiction just by pressing her. Are you saying that the victim didn't fall down on the bridge?
Actually, maybe she did fall.
Of course she didn't fall down on the bridge. He's leading the witness. If she had fallen down, this photo wouldn't make any sense. If that was the case, her coat would have been all muddy. If you don't mind, I was asking the witness. No need to be so rude.
Well, young lady?
Of course she didn't fall down. The man in the prison uniform grabbed her before she could.
We're one step too slow.
And then, what did the defendant do after that?
Then he carried her over to the car.
Oh. You personally witnessed that.
Yes.
Did anything strange happen when he did that?
Well, I don't know if you call it strange or not, but that's when the victim's scarf fell off.
You mean the scarf?
Her words match what we found at the scene. I don't see any problem.
I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden.
You mean the defendant carried the body all by himself?
Yes.
Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be difficult. Yes, but let's try to remember they were on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse. Is it even possible for him to have carried a dead body on a bridge like that?
Well, the fact of the matter is that he did. That kind of talk is just silly.
Wow, why do you get so emotional all of a sudden?
Miss Fay, if you think there's still another possibility, please share that with the rest of us.
Really now? Couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. He could have just thrown it off of the... Damn it! He could have just dropped the body into the river. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Bridge... White scarf for identification. Something about this testimony is bothering me.
Have you ever put salt in your coffee?
No, why would I?
Why not?
Huh?
It may actually go better with coffee than sugar, right? Listen, my point is if you're not sure, you might as well add a ton of salt to it. It might bring out the rust in something, like a piece of evidence.
He's right, Mia. But we'll present something, you've got nothing to lose.
By the way, I wouldn't put salt in my coffee. The two don't go well after all.
Yeah. After he stabbed her in the back, picked her up, carried over to the car, the only way... Wait a minute. Ah, that's where I had to present the map. A killer not wanting his victim to be found. I can understand that, because I also killed somebody on January 7th, 1984. I didn't actually do that. I wasn't even born in 1984. However, the purpose of moving the body for that purpose... The idea of moving that body for that purpose is clearly odd. There was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found.
Well, what is it?
Take another look at the map of the area, and you'll see how. There's so... I was just thinking of a funny TikTok. So, like, everybody under this sound is asking somebody else to, become this guy's girlfriend, but nobody actually wants to do it. That's the bystander effect, just like how that's how I got away with running over a child. For legal reasons, I did not run over a child. I don't even drive. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river. For those who are not aware, Evil River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. She's the victim. She was the girl that fell into the river. If 10 murders were to occur at that same spot above the Eagle River, you can bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the water.
Order! I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Fay, but I must admit it does seem odd not to have thrown the body into the river. Well, Mr. Edgeworth?
How sad. Perhaps Miss Fay would do well to try taking a dip in the river herself. After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature. What are you talking about? My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw.
Quite true. Miss Fay, it seems that your session is without merit after all.
but what the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous. Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car.
That's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us.
Please, witness, go on with your testimony.
I'll try.
All you have to do is tell us only what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again.
Who is he talking about?
All right, I'll do my best.
This.
After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body there. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge.
Oh. So it's this. What did the man do then?
Well, naturally, he got in the car and was about to flee. That's when I came to my senses. I said to myself, you have to call the police.
And so that's when you called the police. You're sure that you saw all that with your own eyes?
Yes, I'm certain.
He couldn't just leave the body. Okay. So... the killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car. Nope, didn't think so. That's the new piece of testimony, so I know that's what I have to object to, right? Oh! I don't know why this contradiction, but hold on. I don't see how that's a contradiction. I don't know where Mia's going. I don't know where Mia's going with this. Well, Miss Foster, looks like you've done it this time.
Done what?
Sorry, made a crucial mistake.
Crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Faye?
The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your very own eyes?
Yes, and?
It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Oh! Even if you tried to see the car, this outcropping of rock is directly in the way. How did you know there was a car? That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car. Gah! I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car.
That's right! It's not high at all. I was able to see his car just fine.
I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location that the photo was taken from. Your own photo tells the whole story. Oh, the cliff on the side. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that is being referred to is really more like a cliff. Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff, but still you claim to have been able to see the killer's car.
No!
Order! Order in the court! What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo?
Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it. She gaslit herself? Damn, I didn't know you could do that. No, wait, actually, I've been gaslighting myself for a very long time. I just forgot about it because I'm crazy. That's not funny. Don't joke about that. But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her own eyes.
Oh.
Mr. Judge?
What is it?
I think I must have remembered things wrong.
Hey, wait a minute. You can't just say that. If I had $1 for every unreliable narrator in this entire series, I don't know, but if I had a nickel for every unreliable narrator in this series, I'd be able to buy a Snickers. Ooh. Miss Faye, no one on the face of the planet is perfect. Yes, yes indeed. Except for, I don't know. Gumshoe. He's perfect.
Quite true. You know what they say, to err is human, to forgive divine.
If that case, then how about we forgive my client?
You make a good point. I find the defendant not guilty. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here.
What? That's not fair!
Save the tears for later, kitten.
Mr. Armando! So it's not just Phoenix. The judge just hates any defense attorney that walks into his court. Well, not this judge, the other judge.
Don't look back until the trial is over. Now's the time to go forward.
But that wasn't fair!
Okay, kitten, you need to relax. Then you need to remember,
Life isn't fair.
the other kitten's testimony.
I hate the response, life ain't fair, when, like, you do something that's unfair. Like, hey, you can't do that. That's not fair. Yeah, well, life ain't fair. I'm not complaining about life being unfair. I'm complaining about you being unfair, asshole.
So tell me, how did she know that? How did she know that he broke into the trunk?
Just because life's been a bitch to you doesn't mean you have to be a bitch to other people.
Well, Miss Foster, until you can explain how you knew that, you're gonna have to have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom.
Huh? Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy, complaining about other people. Because I'm a misanthrope. An optimistic misanthrope, but still kind of misanthropic. I'm an optimist, but I'm also a realist.
Well, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk. Because there were marks left on the trunk lid. I'm certain they were scratch marks from when he broke into it.
Yeah, I saw the lock on the hood. It was broken.
Let me see that photo.
Yep, right there.
It's true. These certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. It's obvious that this trunk has been broken open. Well, Miss Fay, are you satisfied?
The judge is on her side. I can't make any mistakes here. Oh, what she just said. Is there a contradiction in there somewhere? Obviously yes. Melissa Foster, it looks like you finally betrayed yourself.
What?
You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers. But even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when. When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Wait, it was that easy? Finally. I finally got her.
I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here.
Then perhaps it would be faster if Miss Fay explained herself. Fuck you. Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had seen the scratches was... let me think. She's the owner of the car. This is funny, so I'm just gonna respond to this, see what happens. That is why she knew about the scratches. Yeah, wrong answer. Yeah. Is it this? Come on. When she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. That's the correct answer. The person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was... Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it?
That's ridiculous. I could never. It was the man in the prison garb. He's the one that...
I don't think so, Miss Foster. If Mr. Falls had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk, he would have simply used the car key. There was no need to break it open. Oh, right, he stole it.
But he stole the car!
He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Which means that the key would have still been in the ignition.
Oh, I see.
Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. That it couldn't have been Mr. Falls that put the body in the trunk.
No!
Preposterous! To even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could only have been put in the trunk when the incident occurred. And we already know that at the time, she was taking photographs. Alright, how'd she get over the, cliff? Now's your chance, Mia. Finish this thing. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is the shutter for this may not have been pushed by Miss Foster herself. Oh! Let's take another look at this camera and see what features it has, shall we? It has a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Why? It's almost as if she had bought this camera just to take this picture. What are you trying to say then, Miss Fay? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed? Well, if she really did use the camera's auto timer, then the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly. She was not in the field.
Would the defense please explain further? Listen, this is a crucial point. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? And answering that question will also make clear Miss Foster's true identity. Well then, please answer this question.
Okay.
Where was Melissa Foster when the incident on the bridge occurred? But that's where the victim, Miss Hawthorne, was standing.
Yeah, I have no idea where Mia's going with this.
Order! Miss Fay, what on earth?
Your Honor, if I may? After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could only have been before the defendant met the victim.
How asinine.
Of course Mr. Falls met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Falls. You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? By the time the witness's photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne. What? What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. And who exactly is the victim in this photo? It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness.
What?
It's the only possible explanation. This is the same plot twist that was in the previous case, but that case hasn't happened yet. Is that where Phoenix got the idea? Because he read this case file? Because, like, does this just... The woman that Mr. Falls met on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you. Melissa Foster. It was you. You are the cringe-ass Nene baby of legend. Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Falls himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. Oh. But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped him get convicted. But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in a federal penitentiary. God, that is so unethical. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore. You are just making this up as you go along. You bet I am. Where's your proof? I've got it all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case wide open. At the time of the incident, Mr. Falls had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like. Oh, shit. It seems to be taken by the witness. Why would she need a scarf for identification if she didn't? Come on. That's why he needed some piece of identification. Yes! Namely, this muddy scarf. It was Mr. Falls who requested that she wear this scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster? Oh my god, she vanished. Oh, she fainted. Is that what she was taken into question for? Is this what happened when she killed Diego?
Where's Miss Foster?
She is collecting herself in the lobby. This must be when it happened, right? It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. The only question is, why did she do it? Well, isn't that obvious? She's the real culprit.
Huh.
Edgeworth's gonna, pull out the murder weapon. It's like, I have the murder weapon with the defendant's fingerprints on it. And a signed affidavit saying that and a receipt that shows Terry Falls bought this weapon.
Well, we'll have to wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. The defense and the prosecution are both to wait in their respective lobbies.
Yes, Your Honor. Understood.
Very well. This court is in recess.
Boy, what a shit show. Mr. Falls, I'm sorry.
I want to say thanks. You're real good. You really hooked me up.
Thanks. We're almost there. Once I prove that she committed the crime.
Yeah, but there's one more big obstacle we've got to get past.
Obstacle?
Yeah, motive.
Why would Melissa Foster kill that policewoman anyway? Especially if they were clearly sisters. Motive, huh?
Anyway, we're still badly in need of information.
Information. Right.
What we need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. All we know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing.
What is it?
Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. The kidnap and murder case that Zebra Boy is on death row for. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie.
Mr. Falls. In that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago.
Okay, I trust you.
That day, 5 years ago, I dream of it. Every day. This picture, it reminds me everything. Bridge looks same, just like then, 5 years ago. Bro, broken English, like it could fall apart. Fall apart any minute. So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years.
Huh. Sorry, buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart at any minute.
Bro, it's true. I did kidnap her. 5 years ago, I kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne. Wasn't it your girlfriend?
Huh? But wasn't she a little girl? Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne?
The victim's last name. Wait a minute. Dahlia Hawthorne. Valerie's little sister. What? Are you serious? Wait a minute. The girl. Let her go. But wasn't she a little girl? Yeah. You said that was your girlfriend? Never mind. Lock this guy up. Give him the death penalty. So I was right all along, right? The Dahlia Hawthorne, she was the girl who fucking... She was the girl who fell into the river all that time ago. The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. At first I thought shooting someone for a kidnapping was crossing the line, but if it was to protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it. Wrong. No, protect sister. Valerie, betray me. Betray us. Seriously, when did you start talking like that? What do you mean she betrayed you? Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping, too. A make-believe kidnapping? Dahlia. My girlfriend. My love. My teen angel. How old are you two? 'Cause, hold on. Defendant. 25. 19. And this was, what, 5 years ago? So, you would have been 20. She would have been... Oh, she'd have been 14. Your Honor, my client is willing to plead guilty to pedophilia as long as you drop the charges of murder. I'd do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. Anything Dahlia says? Hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by... Yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too. What? Valerie was in on it? Dahlia's family rich. Jewelry business. We get 1 jewel. That's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note. We send to her dad. Ask for $2 million diamond. Tell him make exchange on Dusky Bridge. We tell him Valerie make transfer cause she knew detective. Having a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing, alright. In the end, you were planning on splitting the 2 million 3 ways, huh? Yeah, but that woman! That woman, Valerie, she do it for real. She shoot at me for real. Me and Dahlia. You... I was shot in arm. Dahlia, she jump in river. Your Honor, I'm willing to make a plea bargain for my client. My client is a pedophile, but he's not a murderer. Jump? You don't mean she jumped on purpose, do you? I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up with police all over. And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence. I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me! Well, you were a fucking grown-ass man dating her 14-year-old sister. I wouldn't blame her. These 5 years, all I wonder is, why? 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 Why did she lie? That's all I want to know. So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself. Yes, but I forget what she looked like, so I tell her to wear scarf. I don't want to hurt her. Just ask why. Why? Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just want to hear answer come from her mouth, that's all. So that's why you made a crazy escape like that. Just one thing, Zebra Boy. My senses are tingling all over. Tell me, Mr. Falls, where is it? Huh? Where's what? Come on now, kitten. The ransom. The $2 million diamond. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? I don't know. Huh? You don't know? No, really, I don't know. It's gone. With Dahlia. Oh, I know what happened. Dahlia, she got it cut into the fucking bottle necklace. No, wait, that's not right. Huh, diamond. I don't remember. Could it be the same red diamond that was given to fucking Mikeland Duckway? That day, on the bridge. Dahlia put it in backpack. Now gone, with Dahlia. Gone, forever. Into Eagle River. It disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute. You can come back in now. We're ready to go. Mr. Foss, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne? Never found her. My sweet Dahlia. They never found her. Swallowed by river. Gone. Dahlia, my teen angel. Stop saying that, dude. How old was she anyway? Just for... Oh! Guess you were robbing cradles before diamonds. She plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the river with a rock worth $2 million. Man, oh man. Angels these days. God, first Regina, now this dude. Falls take the fall and gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel, or is she really a fallen angel? It's time, kitten. Looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeve now. You bet. The training wheels come off now, Mia. You've got to strike while the iron is hot. The diamond is missing, so I imagine Mia just, like, wrote on a little note. Red diamond. And, like, that is like, I'd like to present to the court this diamond. The diamond I'm actually referring to is missing, so just pretend I'm holding a diamond. My stomach is gurgling with acid, bros.
Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Falls. Witness, are you feeling better?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best.
You're a brave young lady.
Not this again. I can understand a defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. However, try to pin the crime on an innocent student. That's literally how our law system works, dude. I have no choice. It's literally the way the law works. It's literally guilty until you prove someone else innocent. I don't want to do this. I wish I could just get off on a technicality, man. What are you talking about? My witness is not the person on trial here. Fuck you. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime. That's all. What possible reason would a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman?
It's certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer.
Her motive, huh? I figured that's what I had to establish next.
Well, Miss Fay, do you have any evidence of a motive?
Yes, of course. I think.
Ha!
You're still acting as tame as a kitten. Mr. Armando.
Listen, a lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is the mark of a pro.
Maybe so, but I wish you would quit grinning at me like that. Super cool woman with his dumbass boyfriend. Her dumbass boyfriend.
Excuse me, may I speak, Mr. Judge?
Of course. Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like.
Dude.
I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true.
I see. You're such an honest and upstanding young lady.
Looks like this witness is a real professional. What do you mean?
Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her, click, she lights right up.
Wolf in sheep's clothing, I'm telling you guys. Oh, a character witness.
I was out on
Character testimony.
I was out of the country until the year before last. Until I entered college, I had never even been to Eagle Mountain before, and I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago, or kidnapping a poor girl, I just think the defendant's a terrible, horrible monster.
No arguments there.
Out of the country, eh?
Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder.
Indeed. You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile.
You bet. Somehow, I have to tie her to this case.
I was out of the country until the year before last, until I entered college, never mind. Don't have a reason for wanting to hurt a police officer.
Perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself here in court, but you know things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches on the trunk of the car.
Well, that's...
Oh, fuck. Unfortunately, Miss Fay, your last statement proves nothing. Oh, really? And why is that? The witness came to the police station once to identify the suspect. It's entirely possible that at that time an officer showed her this photo.
That seems like a rather serious mistake. That's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book.
That's not fair.
That wicked inmate. I'll never be able to forget that horrible day.
Huh?
Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago.
How do you know about that? A grudge?
Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death.
Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges.
He seems rather forgetful. Your client, I mean. Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well.
What do you mean by that?
Your client. He forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well.
Well, she's right about that. Mr. Falls is kind of forgetful. You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What do you mean by that?
Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right?
Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification.
Why, if I had been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably wouldn't have tried to. Then you probably would have tried to kill me.
That's true. He's clearly a bitter man.
This is bad. Mr. Falls' reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Let it get worse and worse. I think you need to let this guy one go, dude. Even if he's not a killer, he's still a fucking pedophile. Your Honor, what the witness said just now was tremendously important. I'd like it added to the official testimony. The prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer and a mentally unbalanced one at that. The testimony only helps to further prove that point.
No, that's not why I... Enough, witness, if you would.
My pleasure, Mr. Judge. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. Or kidnapping a poor girl. Just thinking that...
Wait. But it wasn't white. It wasn't white, it was blue. Witness, I want you to look at this photo you took. It's hard to see in the photo, but look at the scarf the victim wore as identification. Well, it's a black and white photograph, so...
You are talking about this scarf right here, eh?
Yes, that's it. The scarf the policewoman was wearing.
I've got her now. Just don't mess up. But that's strange. In your testimony, you stated the following. Guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf.
White?
This is the scarf you identified as belonging to the victim. But it certainly doesn't look white to me. The age-old question, is it black and blue or white and gold?
Well, it was foggy that day, and it was raining as well.
It's not surprising that she mistook it for white. Sorry, but not this time. The witness just confirmed that this was the victim's scarf.
Yes, but what's the significance? It's true that the scarf doesn't look white, but...
There's only one explanation for this mix-up. The reason why the witness thought the scarf was white is... she knew it was white because of this. Witness, have you ever seen this note?
No, no, never.
It's top secret evidence. There's no reason you thought you would have.
I wonder about that.
What do you mean?
This note shows Mr. Fall's instructions to the victim regarding their meeting. It says, wear white scarf for identification. White scarf. Witness, you knew what this note said, and it's because you knew that you slipped up and mistakenly said white scarf. Well, Miss Foster?
No!
Order, order. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation.
I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public. And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Falls is one. The person who wrote the note, Valerie Hawthorne, is another. And finally, one more person.
Did you say one more person?
That's right.
A person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out, kitten?
I already figured it out. The third person that knew the contents of the note was... And that person is... Dahlia Hawthorne.
Dahlia Hawthorne? I've never heard that name before.
Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. This is her name, right there.
What's this? So who is this person? This Dahlia Hawthorne?
Miss Faye must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life. Boy, I'm a spirit medium. I can do that. I'll do it right now. I'll channel your father, your dead father. You remember that? Your dead father. Your father's dead, Edgeworth. He died.
The dead?
Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago.
Killed in a crime? You don't mean...
Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Falls. You said she was killed, but was she really? What are you implying? Of course, people thought she had died 5 years ago, when she fell off of Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found. She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she were still alive, she would be 19 now. Melissa Foster, I believe that's the same age you are. Even you couldn't. Miss Faye, you're not saying... I mean, it's very simple. All we have to do is blood test. Surely she has some kind of record, some kind of information. But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is in fact Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
What?
Huh. Nice work. That was like tossing a grenade into a 3-alarm fire. But unless you can tie all the loose ends together, you're nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist. I understand. If I can expose her true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. Now's my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm.
Witness? Just who are you, anyway?
I didn't think it'd come to this. That's enough. You don't have to say any more, witness.
Yes, I understand.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, explain yourself.
Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I honestly never thought the defense would pursue the matter this far. You don't mean... Yes, the prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all of our witnesses. Don't fucking tell me he already knew.
Ha, looks like the kid knew. He knew her true identity from the get-go.
And he didn't tell anyone. Edgeworth, I'm surprised that you never lost your badge once, but like Phoenix, gets caught using forged evidence once. Boom! Loses his attorney badge. Look.
If you hadn't revealed her secret, he wasn't going to say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made a little trade.
Dahlia Hawthorne. But that means she's not dead, which I demand that all charges of murder be dropped. For my client be dropped. I demand that the death penalty, he not get the death penalty, Your Honor.
We thought so as well.
We thought so as well, but as you can see... Why? Why did she hide her identity for 5 years? That has nothing to do with the current case. She was merely an accidental witness to a crime. Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously at the scene of another murder. Really, Miss Faye, I must say your strategy here is painfully obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win. That's literally... fuck, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. I'm seriously gonna kill him. How dare you? Please, let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. But even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious, her big sister. Miss Faye must be insane to even suggest that she murdered her.
What possible reason would this witness have for killing her beloved sister?
Well, you see, thought I was winning. Somehow he's turned it around on me.
I think you need a little push in the right direction, kitten. The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim.
Ah, that wasn't me. It was this guy, this crazy coffee addict. I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man.
Heh, what makes you think they're empty, boy?
Because your protege looks like she's sweating bullets. I am sweating bullets.
You think you're in a tough spot, huh?
Of course, aren't I?
No. You've just arrived at the moment of truth, that's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you.
Up to me? The rashness of youth. How charming. This coming from someone younger than me.
Now then, let's not waste any more time. Miss Faye? What motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne?
The diamond. Shit. What is this? Is this the defense's idea of a joke?
If so, I certainly don't get the punchline. Well, Miss Faye?
Oh, that... Fuck my life. That witness stayed hidden for 5 years. Must be a good reason for that. Somehow must involve Valerie Hawthorne. One more time, Mia. Gotta read the court record more carefully this time. So it wasn't the fucking diamond. Let's not waste any more time. You're not scapegoating, are you? So what if I am, boy? I have nothing but contempt for this court. Oh, fuck! Okay, I really am fucked if I get this wrong. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. It has to be this, right? The storyteller... Okay, thank God. The story starts after Terry Falls escaped. He called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. The whole truth must come out. Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal to the world the whole truth.
The whole truth?
There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie, to keep her mouth shut permanently. A terrific story, Miss Faye. If you like fiction, that is. Enlighten the court, Miss Faye. What was this secret that was so important? That she was still alive. Where's your evidence?
Dahlia and Valerie Hawthorne. And Terry Falls. There's only one important secret that connects them all.
Oh yes, I know this secret. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony. What testimony? Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago, we believe it will explain a lot of things, such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters.
Very well. I'll grant you your request for further testimony. I know it'll be painful for you, but can you enlighten us once more, my little maple leaf?
Yes, I'll try, Mr. Judge.
Put in the old charm one more time, Dahlia. But this time, it will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles.
"5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money, so I decided to change my identity and start a new life."
The kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. And we're to believe that after all that, she murdered her sister. Yeah, because she was going to reveal her secret. That's... seems pretty open and shut to me. Don't know what kind of shit the judge is on. Yes, Your Honor.
As you heard, the witness is still traumatized from the kidnapping. I'll ask you again to be extremely gentle in your cross-examination.
Mr. Edgeworth got the jump on me again. Well, we're not allowed to fight unless twist on us. Well, listen up. We've still got that info. That ace up our sleeve. What info?
Come on, kitten. Don't say you've forgotten already.
The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged. Right, the diamond. That's right, it was a fake kidnapping. Terry Falls told us that in the lobby. Dahlia. Yes, that's it. The fake kidnapping is your best shot, Mia. That's her secret. Ask her about the diamond. I heard the diamond is valued in the neighborhood of $2 million.
$2 million?
It was still uncut, so it was about the size of a pint of milk.
A $2 million pint of milk. I don't know what to think about that.
Oh, really? The small icon picture of it is misleading. The defendant demanded that her sister, Valerie, make the exchange. Not as a detective, of course, but as an individual. By the way, I want to ask you, Mr. Edgeworth, why do you think he wanted to make the exchange up there on that mountain? If he ever got surrounded, it would be hard to escape. There's one thing a kidnapper wants to prevent, and that's police involvement. In a place like that, it would be easy to tell if he was being followed. With only one entrance to the mountain, he was ensuring his safety.
What a wickedly clever man that Mr. Falls is.
Yeah, right. It was all your plan.
Anyway, Valerie brought the diamond to the mountain and... after she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm.
So she did make the exchange. That was a dangerous thing to do considering you were being held hostage.
Yes, but actually that saved my life.
See, my first assumption was that she had a grudge against her sister because she failed to save her. She failed to save Dahlia. So it's like, you know... What do you mean?
You see, Mr. Falls was holding a knife in his right hand. Somehow I just knew he was going to use it. I knew he was going to use that knife to kill me. That's why my sister shot him. It was to save me. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind.
I'd like to hear more about what happened right at that moment.
Well, when Mr. Falls was shot in the right arm, he let go of me. I was dazed. I turned to try and run away, but Mr. Falls turned to grab me as well. As I ran past, he and I locked eyes for a second, and he gave me a large, bloodthirsty grin.
Bloodthirsty grin? Oh.
And in the next instant...
I advise the court to remember that the river is 18 feet deep and incredibly swift.
I was a strong swimmer, but I was knocked out. When I came to, I had been carried away by the river to a strange place. I'll never forget that day. The crumbling bridge, nowhere to run. Then just one little shove from behind. That was it. Before my sister could catch me, I fell into the river. I survived. I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money.
And that's why you hid your identity?
Yes. I only told my sister.
Valerie Hawthorne, eh?
Yes, she's the only one who knew about me.
Meanwhile, legally, this witness has been deceased for 5 years.
I didn't ever want something like that to happen to me again.
Ugh.
So I decided to change my identity and start a new life.
And that new identity was Melissa Foster, right?
Yeah, my sister helped me get the official paperwork taken care of.
That makes sense. She's a cop. Without an insider's help, doing all the paperwork would have been impossible for a 14-year-old girl.
She was the only person left in the world I could count on. And you think I killed her? There's no way I could.
There's the moment of truth for this witness, too. Once the truth about this staged kidnapping comes out, everyone in the court will know how much of a Jezebel she really is. I've just got to prove that kidnapping was a hoax. I am so hot, sweaty, and hungry, I don't want to do voices anymore. Oh! It is the map. That was just guessing, because I was saying, Well, the bridge was broken, so maybe you say that Mr. Falls pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe.
But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Falls.
I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said that's hard to believe. I should have said that's impossible.
Impossible?
I ask that the court recall the condition of Dusky Bridge, now and 5 years ago. That bridge hasn't changed one bit in these last 5 years. If someone had pushed you from behind as you had claimed, instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why, for all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference.
You're right. If the events occurred just as the witnesses testified, then the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this?
You see,
Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge. What? What do you mean? After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge.
If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct?
now that you mention it, I do remember now. When I fell off the bridge, my skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires.
You can't be serious. Order in the court. It seems Miss Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion. Not now, Mia. This is no time to retreat. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault. What? I believe your reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible. Ridiculous. What's so impossible about it? Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. How does it contradict? If I fuck this up, I don't know if I'll be able to recover. Taken change for 5 years. Photo of the trunk and Falls car. Oh, thank God. All the answers are right here in this photo. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It will be impossible to push someone off from there.
Let's remember the size and strength of the defendant.
Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over. So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Falls had been shot in the right arm. And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him at point-blank range. So, Mr. Falls throwing the witness off the bridge, that is clearly impossible. Gah.
Order! What is the meaning of this?
Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into the Eagle River intentionally.
What? What is this?
Indeed. What do you mean by such a ridiculous remark?
Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun and handcuffs. She could have saved me.
But she didn't.
Jumping into a river like that would have been suicide.
Perhaps, but still, that's exactly what you did. You are probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river. Oh, then what was it? What was so important that she wanted to jump into the river? The witness is still alive. This fact alone explains everything. Let me just save, because I'm not fucking this up. This is why she risked her life by jumping into the rapids of the Eagle River. The diamond. 5 years ago, something else had disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item that Valerie brought up the mountain with her. The $2 million diamond. No, it can't be. Yes, Dahlia had it all planned from the beginning. The $2 million. She was going to keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river, with the ransom tucked away safely in her backpack. Why, that's simply ridiculous! Order! Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan? Kids are monsters. Kids can be monsters. This woman is a demon. And there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne.
You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well?
But she was a detective then. So you're saying she participated in her victim's sister's kidnapping? Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder.
What do you mean by that?
On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister Dahlia, and then she told her that what she was planning to do.
Planning to do?
She was going to tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her note, because that is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatched your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne.
Who is that, laughing at a time like this?
Forgive me, it's just hilarious.
Witness? Is that you?
You amuse me, women. Miss Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally, you have the evidence to back it up, don't you? We have just as much evidence you killed her as we do that my client killed her. Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14 I plotted it with Mr. Falls and my sister. Well, And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't provide evidence to at least show that.
Well, Miss Fey?
I don't know. What a joke. You, Miss Fey. Are you stupid or something? How can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? Let me quickly save. I don't even have decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder.
Well, it seems that we've come to the end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I'm forced to reject the assertions made by the defense.
So we lost? Of course you are. Is this it? Is it really over? That girl has made a fool of me and there's nothing I can do about it. Without evidence, the trial is over. Who decided that? Mr. Armando! Come on now, kitten. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. Testimony? On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Fall's stolen car, and then went to meet with him. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right? Yes, that's right. In that case, there's only one answer, right? There is only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder. And there's no proof. There's only one thing left to do. Who is the one person who can testify to that demon woman's crimes? It's gotta be, Terry. Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness. A new witness? Yes. We would like to hear the testimony of Terry Falls. The defendant. There's only one person that can shed any further light on the situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether the person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia, disguised as her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all, and that person is Terry Falls. It's called that because he's the fall guy. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what is your take on this? Why not? The prosecution has no objection. Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand. This is my last chance, Mr. Falls. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left. Defendant, you've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes? I don't believe it, no way. Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me. Mr. Falls, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive, and you were used for $2 million. That's not true. Mr. Falls, there's only one question I want the answer to. 2 days ago on Dusky Bridge, who did you meet? Was it Valerie Hawthorne or was it Dahlia Hawthorne? Dahlia, did you betray me? 5 years ago she promised never, ever betray each other. Terry. Dahlia, it's true. You are alive. You don't trust me anymore? That makes me sad. That should be an admission that they were in cahoots. Come on, man. Tell the truth, the real truth. I believed in you. I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. But there is one thing that I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry. Like, Judge, don't find that suspicious? I will allow Mr. Falls to testify once, and once only. Well then, Mr. Falls, yours will be the final testimony in this trial. We're gonna lose. Can't talk. Need water. Oh well, I guess it'll have to be my coffee instead. At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Darker and bitterer than hell itself. That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of Bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on Bridge. I watched my car from Bridge. I never put no body in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked, then she left. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia. Mr. Falls, you're covering for her. You think she would do the same for you? That's enough, Miss Faye. His last statement was a fitting way to end the final testimony of the trial. Well then, Miss Faye, please proceed with your cross-examination. Is this how you wanted to end, Mr. Falls? Not the guilty verdict to go along with your death sentence? Surely we should revoke that death sentence, because it's been proven that he didn't murder. Because even if he did throw Dahlia off the bridge, he didn't kill Dahlia. Surely that should reduce the charges, reduce his sentence, right? It should give him a lesser sentence. Come on, man. Let's see what we got. According to the note, the meeting was supposed to take place at 4:30. You certainly arrived early, didn't you? It was raining. Already dark, too. You waited on the bridge for 30 minutes? Mr. Falls, Eagle Mountain, that spot. Strong memories. Why did he just clam up? Could it be he's hiding something here? You were quite early, so you waited on the bridge, correct? Yeah, I like waiting. I'm used to it. I'm sure he is. Zebra Boy waited 5 years to ask a single question. To find out why a woman betrayed him. To him, 30 minutes must have been like a blink of the eye. You were watching the car. That bridge, other side is broken. Nobody can come from there. So, I was watching car. What else were you expecting him to do? I suppose that's the obvious thing to do, but something's bothering me. I'm getting that feeling. A contradiction? I wonder what's on the other side of the broken bridge anyway. No one lives there. There's a small shrine up on the mountain, but that's it. Anyway, nobody came. No car, nothing. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. Mr. Falls, think carefully now. Are you certain that it was Valerie Hawthorne? I never lie. It's the truth. It was Valerie. I remember her face. Wait a minute. If you remember the face, then why did you make her wear a scarf as identification? Sorry. I told a little lie. God damn it, now you're a perjurer. But the woman I met, she was different from the woman standing here now. She was different. It was Valerie. We talked, then she left. What did you talk to her about anyway? Mr. Falls. Valerie told the truth about the kidnapping 5 years ago. She said someone needed to take the blame for it. That was all I could think to do. She said that. That's why she lied. Got me the death penalty. And were you satisfied with that answer, witness? Dahlia died. It was my fault. But I don't really remember. Maybe I did. Maybe I did push her in. Huh? It don't matter no more. Either way, my Dahlia, my sweet teen angel, dead. But you just saw that she isn't dead. After Valerie talked to me on bridge, nothing left to live for. So that's why you just let them give you the death penalty. Not my Dahlia. How can you be so sure? It was raining at the time, and sunset that day was at 5 o'clock. It would have already been pretty dark on that mountain at 4:30. Please, Mr. Falls. This is your last chance. You've already taken the fall once for something you didn't do. That woman. It wasn't Dahlia. Stop right there. What more needs to be said? Even if it means the death penalty. Even if it means taking the blame for murder. You'll still do whatever is necessary to protect her, won't you, Mr. Falls? I know it's obvious, but he's clearly lying. He's been cursed by Dahlia Hawthorne. He'll probably go to his grave still believing in her. Mr. Falls. Even if you can show he's lying, the poor guy will still be cursed. You'll still have to point out the contradiction anyway. That's the curse of being a defense lawyer, I guess. Damn, so I gotta find a contradiction. Hard evidence. She wasn't there. Car from bridge. One woman came. She stood in front of me. She stood in front of me. She was facing away from the, she couldn't have come in there because the bridge was broken. So when you got to the bridge, no one arrived? So you waited on the bridge. You're sure of that? Yeah, I'm sure. You're sure, huh? Well, then I'm sure too, Mr. Falls. I'm sure that you're lying. Huh? Ugh. Oh, I would love to hear your rationale on this, Miss Fay. You want to know who arrived at the bridge first? Just look at this photo. It's perfectly clear. Obviously, the person that came first would be the one at the end of the bridge, right? That's the victim at the end of the bridge. Precisely my point. In other words, Mr. Falls, you must have arrived at the bridge after she did. Mr. Falls, please don't get so worked up. We just want the truth. I got there around 4 o'clock. It's true. I had somewhere to go. A special place. Did you go to this special place before you went to the bridge? Yeah, it's an old temple about 15 minutes from the bridge. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other. We swore we wouldn't betray each other. She bought a memento to represent our love. A memento? 5 years ago, I hid it under a base of tree there. It's a special memory for me. This is it. This is what I want to get. Oh, this little bottle of a necklace is your memo. It's quite charming, but it looks empty. Your Honor, you heard what my client said. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock. But then he left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes. With that much time, Dahlia Hawthorne could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of his car. No!
Indeed, there certainly was enough time for it.
I've still got a chance. Mr. Falls, there's no mistaking it. Huh? Mr. Falls? Oh my god. Oh my god. That's enough. Please. He's doing suicide. He's doing seppuku.
Witness?
I promised her 5 years ago, if it ever happens, that we can't trust each other no more, then we're supposed to drink bottle. Suicide pact.
No, stop the trial! Your Honor, we need a recess.
I was stupid. Couldn't keep promise. So I did it. I drank this.
No, we are so close! Just a little more! I was going to prove your innocence!
No, don't want that. Don't trust self. Maybe kill again. Kill sweet Dahlia again. Mr. False! Mr. Armando. Thanks for the coffee.
Mr. Falls!
At least he died on his own terms instead of in an execution chamber. So my first trial ended, suddenly and tragically. It ended with no winners, only losers. I ended up with a wound that cut so deep into my soul, I thought I'd never heal. I'm sure it was the same for the prosecutor as well. Oh yeah, he didn't get to have his guilty verdict. But one person, the true criminal, Dahlia Hawthorne, she left the courtroom with a secret smile on her demonically sweet face. Unforgivable, that witch. Mr. Armando, I'm so close to the truth. It was right there in front of us. You were just a little too soft, kitten. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. Don't cry, kitten. You're gonna make my coffee all salty. I knew it. I knew I wasn't cut out for this. Mia. Oh, that's Godot's theme. Don't you get it? You can't cry yet. Bro, that's... the only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. But, Mr. Armando, dude, are you okay? No matter how tough the case, no matter how bitter the memories, they always fade over time. Then you file them away and eventually forget them. Wait, who's talking now? Is it me or... Hey, it's Phoenix. 1 year later, in this very same courthouse, I myself got wrapped up in that case. Oh, yeah. Ah, Phoenix, so young and full of energy. Where did the years go by? Only after that did Dahlia Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. The verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was... guilty. Of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfect angelic smile on her face. Yeah. I bet she got the worst punishment imaginable for that. You never smile when we're on trial. Never smile for your mugshot. That'll just show to the court that you're an irredeemable monster. It was finally all over. At least that's what I thought at the time. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years, but now something has happened that's made me remember all this. Okay. Bridge to the turnabout. We will go see this later, but first, let's save that here as well. You know, just for shits and giggles. See what happens.